So at this festival of ideas, my idea is frankly pretty straightforward. We have to complete the job. We have to defeat Daesh, its affiliates, and its imitators in Afghanistan, Libya, Nigeria, elsewhere, wherever they raise their ugly head. And that is not an option, my friends. That is an imperative. It is critical to our national security because we know they're plotting, and we know what they will do to other countries in the region who are our allies and friends and important to the stability of the world. And make no mistake, this is not a clash of civilizations. This is a clash of civilization against a kind of barbarism. Between civilization and medieval and modern fascism wrapped together at the same time. And yes, between a cultural clash with modernity and the failure of governance to do anything for some of these countries over the last 50 years or more. So it will take years of determined effort, but the effort has to be determined. And it'll take sacrifice to succeed. But think back to what I said about the last century and sacrifice. The good news is we have absolutely, certainly, without any doubt whatsoever, started down the right path. Last year at this time, in the core areas of Iraq and Syria, we were containing the terrorists of Daesh. Now we are moving methodically and authoritatively to destroy them, to take back territory, and put Daesh on a definable path to defeat. To date, our coalition has conducted some 13,000 airstrikes. We've taken out more than 120 known, identifiable, high-level leaders, and we have caused the ranks of Daesh to shrink by 1/3. Together with our partners, we have pushed Daesh out of nearly half of the populated territory it once controlled in Iraq and about 1/4 of the land that it controlled and occupied in Syria. And I am currently involved in discussions with the Russians now to see if we can change the structure of this current ceasefire and actually make progress with respect to taking out all of the terrorists in the country while also trying to find a political solution to the challenge. We have liberated Tikrit, Sinjar, Ramadi, Hasaka, and Kobani. And the Iraqi security forces have just taken back the key city of Fallujah. And local forces in Syria are pressing Daesh in the strategic town of Manbij. And now we understand much better how Daesh operates. We are enabled to adjust our targeting, more effectively hammer its heavy weapons, its training camps, supply routes, its infrastructure. We have destroyed over 400 of its tanker trucks that were taking oil out to Turkey or to Iraq in order to sell it and fund their operations. We have cut their revenue at least in half. And without additional towns to plunder, Daesh has less money to buy weapons or pay its fighters. We're also working diligently to destroy Daesh narrative, the narrative that they are successful, that they hold territory, they are a state, that they are the caliphate of the future. All of that narrative is what has drawn fighters from France, from Germany, from the United States, from Australia, from around the world. And we are working diligently in a whole counter-narrative strategy together with our friends in the Middle East and elsewhere. So it has been more than 1 year since Daesh has actually launched a full-scale military offensive. And that's because our coalition is moving forward relentlessly on every front. Now, yes, you can bomb an airport. You can blow yourself up. That's the tragedy. Daesh and others like it know that we have to get it right 24/7, 365. They have to get it right for 10 minutes or 1 hour. So it's a very different scale. And if you're desperate, and if you know you're losing, and you know you want to give up your life, then obviously you can do some harm. So our fight from Daesh in Iraq and Syria is not over. The big tests are still ahead, especially in retaking Mosul, which is the largest remaining stronghold in Iraq, though we have now surrounded it, and we are laying the groundwork for an offensive. And, of course, Raqqa in Syria. And let me be blunt. Taking out Daesh is only one part of this struggle. We have to, as a nation, and particularly a Congress and an executive, come together to engage in a far more comprehensive effort against the forces that make terrorism a global, not just a regional threat. To confront this challenge, I recently created the first Countering Violent Extremism office at the State Department, and I introduced a new strategy together with President Obama and the strategy the White House is pursuing, all joined together, and our Defense Department, in order to have one united front to counter this violent extremism. But listen to the words of Henry David Thoreau. A long time ago, he got it right. There are 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil, to only one who is striking at the root. Clearly, we have to strike relentlessly at the root causes of violent extremism, or we're going to play extremist whack-a-mole for years to come. And we can't do that unless we first understand those roots. After serving in public life now for over 3 decades, I am aware that there are few more reliable and easy punchlines on the stump when you're running for office than to stand up and promise to slash the budget of the State Department or USAID and just say very simply, we shouldn't be spending money over there on those people, we need to spend it right here in Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, wherever the hell it is, and everybody erupts in applause. That makes sense. Easiest thing in the world. Good applause line, lousy policy.